Hi. So I'm hiking the Arizona Trail come the 1st of April, or starting right around then, and this is my gear list. I expect temperatures to be into the 20s at night. I think it's going to be very hot during the day. My girlfriend's done this trail, my best friend's done this trail, a whole bunch of friends have done this trail, so I'm kind of basing my gear choices off of my own research and their recommendations. There's going to be long water carries. This is through the desert. It's 800 miles from Mexico all the way to Utah across the state of Arizona. So let's dive into it. This is my backpack that I'm carrying on this trail, but that's not everything. I'm also carrying a fanny pack on this hike. So together, my base weight is going to be 7.7 pounds, which is pretty light maybe, but surprisingly, this is actually the most I've carried on any through hike before. So between the two, what I've done is I've tried to split that weight up. I'm going to be carrying a 6-pound backpack, and then about 1.5 pounds worth of stuff is going to be in this fanny pack, including my camera, which is predominantly where the weight comes from. So let's take a look at what's in this stuff. This is a Pallante Packs fanny pack. I've always felt that, at least from what I've tried, it is the best thing that I've ever found to hold my camera and have it super accessible at all times. So I love the fanny pack. It's quite large, so I can fit my camera and other stuff. So this is just things that I want to use throughout the day. I've got my face mask, whenever I'm in town or around other people, or if I want to keep my face warm, I can easily just put this on. So a face mask. I've got some cheap headphones here. I've got some lip balm because this hike is in the desert and I really don't want my lips to just crack and get destroyed. So some Beeswax Lip Balm. Now I've got this little tiny flashlight, and this is my primary light and headlamp. This is all that I use, just this little tiny handheld flashlight. It's super lightweight, and I prefer it over a headlamp because a headlamp, when it's pointing from your head down at the ground, it really makes all of the terrain and the shadows look very flat. Whereas when I'm using this little flashlight and I hold it low to the ground, it really elongates shadows and allows me to see better where I am and what I'm doing. So very lightweight little flashlight. I'm also carrying an extra AAA battery for my flashlight. I found that one is generally enough, but I may wind up starting with more just so I don't have to buy them. And then on this trip, I am carrying this Ultrapod. It's a little tiny tripod just made of plastic. I don't expect this to last very long, but it is super lightweight, and it just allows me to set up my camera in places where otherwise I definitely wouldn't be able to. So a little tiny tripod. Now if you're interested in any of the gear I mentioned in this video, I will have links below in the description so you can check it out further. So the only other things I may have in my fanny pack would be my cell phone here. My cell phone is going to be my primary navigational tool. I'm using the Guthooks app to follow the Arizona Trail. So very important to have a cell phone. And then the other thing that's going to be in my fanny pack is going to be my camera. So the camera I'm using is a Panasonic Lumix G7. I think for the quality you're going to get, it is a very, very nice camera. And I've had it about 3 years now, and so far I really, really love it. So very light, very small for the quality. You can see right on top, I have a Rode video microphone with the fuzzy windsock, and that is to collect nice crisp sounds out in the wilderness. Those footstep sounds, those animals. And also, if it is windy, I can cut down on noise, that wind noise, and still be able to speak into my camera. Now, the only other thing with my camera is the lens. It is a 14 to 42 millimeter, and it is actually super small and super lightweight. I'm extremely stoked on this lens. It is actually as small and almost as lightweight as the 14 millimeter I was using before. So very happy about this camera setup, and excited to get out on trail and use it. So that's everything we got in my fanny pack. Let's quickly take a look at what is in my backpack. And what is my backpack? Well, this is a Pallante ultralight backpack. It is about 26 liters and it's very lightweight. They really have, when building it and creating it, they have efficiency in mind, and you can see that with the features throughout. It's got these shoulder strap pockets to hold things so I can easily access stuff throughout the day. It's got a pocket on the bottom so I can store my snacks down there and easily get to them while I'm hiking. You know, the water bottles are easily grabbed while it's on my back, and generally I am super happy with this backpack, and really I'd say it's probably my dream backpack. There's not much that they could improve on this. So let's take a peek here. First thing on top is going to be my sun hat, and this is the only hat that I'm bringing on this trail. This is a Sunday afternoon sun hat. I use this on the PCT and I really enjoyed it. It is very wide, it protects my neck, it keeps the sun out of my face, and it's got these nice vents on the side, and just in general, very happy with the sun hat and excited to use it in the desert. So the other thing that's going to be on my body at all times is going to be my watch. This is just a cheap Casio watch, and it's water resistant, and in general it is just so valuable to know the time while you're out on trail, to know when the sun is going to set if you need to push miles, or to know the date and when you're going to have to get into town so stores aren't closed or something. So having a cheap watch is something I very much enjoy, and I've never been a watch person my entire life. So going back to the backpack here, I also have 2 water bottles on the outside. These are just cheap gas station 1 liter water bottles, very lightweight, and you know, I like them better than smart water bottles. So 2 liters there, and then I also have this 2 liter platypus. I like the platypus, you know, just because it is lightweight and it does pack down very small, so I don't always have to use it and have to have something so big and bulky like a water bottle. So the platypus is pretty nice. So I have 4 liters total capacity for the Arizona Trail. And the other reason I went with the platypus was so that my Sawyer Squeeze can fit on top, and I can just filter water into my other bottles. So the Sawyer Squeeze, this is the only filter that I will trust. The Sawyer Micro is gonna clog. The Sawyer Mini is gonna clog. And then you're gonna be left in the middle of the woods with a filter that doesn't work. So the Sawyer Squeeze is extremely reliable and very lightweight at 2.4 ounces. So the other thing I got in that main pocket is 5 tent stakes. 4 of these are MSR Carbon Core, and 1 is a Zpacks carbon tent stake. I prefer the MSR ones because I feel like they're more durable, and they're actually lighter weight than the Zpacks ones. So, you know, I only bought 4, but in the future I will replace the Zpacks one with it. Be careful with using super ultralight tent stakes like this, as if you are super forceful with them, they will break. So I don't expect to actually set up my shelter a whole lot on the Arizona Trail. I hope to be cowboy camping, so I hope that I won't need to use those too often. So turning the pack around here, we have the 2 shoulder strap pockets. Now in this one I have a microfiber cloth case for some sunglasses. The sunglasses are very important, especially in the snow like right now, or in the desert when the sun is just going to be beating. This trail is going to be a very exposed trail. You know, a lot of sun exposure. So I fully expect to need the sunglasses and to need the sun hat. So on the other side here, I have something fun. This is something I bring on through hikes occasionally. And this one, I'm excited for it. And that would be a yo-yo. A yo-yo, I think, is a great luxury item because if the miles just aren't coming as quick as you want, you can just take out this yo-yo, mess around with it for 15 minutes, and what do you know? A mile is gone. If you're not in the best mood, play with the yo-yo, and now you're in a better mood. So the yo-yo is a fun thing to have, and it's pretty lightweight, so I'm happy with it. I also have a little bit of chafe cream. Given it's the desert, it's gonna be hot, it's gonna be dusty. You know, I think chafe cream is gonna be very essential. This is Squirrel's Nut Butter, which is actually made here in Flagstaff, Arizona, where I'm living. So some chafe cream at the ready. And then I've also got some hand sanitizer. Whenever I'm in town or whenever I've used the restroom recently, I will sanitize my hands afterwards. So that is everything on the outside of my pack. Before we get into it, you know, I might as well mention this jacket. This jacket is something I'll be wearing on the trail. This is a Enlightened Equipment Torrid pullover. I like it because it's got this big pocket. I don't feel like I need gloves if I have a pocket like that, saving me an ounce. It's got a nice big hood. So since I have a hood, I don't feel like I need a beanie, so saving me another ounce. And yeah, it's synthetic material, so if it gets wet, I don't really have to worry about it too much. I can wash it easily, and I'm really excited to test this out and try it on the AZT this year and see if I like it or see if I don't, you know, in a longer hiking setting. Obviously, it's very cold here right now, so I've been wearing it a lot and enjoying it so far. So let's dig into this thing. So the first thing on top is my ditty bag. It's just a large gallon Ziploc bag, which has all of my small things in it. So I have a microfiber cloth to clean my sunglasses and my camera lens. I have a dual battery camera charger. So to go with that, I got 2 batteries that I can plug into that and charge in town. I like the dual battery ones because I can charge up quicker and I can get in and out of town. So for this trip, I have 3 camera batteries total. So 1 is going in the camera and the other 2 are just spares. You know, kind of giving me the freedom to film whatever I want, whenever I want, and not have to worry about it. I will always have the extra juice. So I have a little bamboo toothbrush, which is super lightweight, and I've cut it in half. Just the idea is, if I don't need it, I'm not gonna carry it. So pretty much every item from my camera, all the way to my clothes, to my backpack, everything in my pack has been modified, and this toothbrush is no different. I cut it in half, just to save a little bit of weight. I also have a travel-sized toothpaste, which I'll have to replace before I go. I have some Advil in this little baggie. It's not something I plan on using, but I also don't want to hike without it. Because if I get in trouble, it is very good to have Advil so that I can, you know, artificially make myself feel better and hike myself to safety. So some Advil is very important. Another safety item that I don't plan on using is a mini Bic Lighter. Just this little guy here. Again, if I get cold, if I get wet, it is incredibly invaluable to be able to set up a fire and warm yourself and dry yourself. So, although I don't plan on using this once during this hike, I don't really want to hike without it. So a mini Bic Lighter. Now I also have a spare memory card for my camera. 128 gigabytes. I have a quick charge, dual port charger, wall charger, with a Type-C connector that's about 20 inches and a smaller micro USB. Again, to charge my cell phone, to charge my camera, to charge my external battery. So this is a this is a very large external battery. How large is this thing? I think it's a 20,100 milliamp hour battery. And I very much so like this thing, again, giving me the freedom to charge my phone so I can make a phone call, to use my phone to navigate, to charge my camera, to charge anything. You know, very essential, and certainly a little bit more than maybe I need, but it's nice to have. I also have a little thing of tweezers here, which, you know, it's hiking through the desert, so I'll be able to, if I sit on a cactus or something, be able to pull out spiky things. And then I also have a little safety pin, just so that if I get any blisters, I'll be able to manage them better. So a safety pin and the tweezers. The tweezers are actually from a Swiss Army Classic knife. So very small and lightweight. Now digging in deeper, we have my shelter here. This is a Zpacks 7x9 tarp, just a flat tarp. And I've been using this thing for a very, very long time, and I love it. It's incredibly lightweight, and on a trail like the Arizona Trail where I'm not really going to be dealing with a lot of rain, it is the perfect shelter choice. Hopefully I can just cowboy camp most nights, but if I need to use my tarp, I can. Only needs 5 tent stakes to set it up, at least in an easy configuration. If there's going to be rain, I'll set it up. If there's going to be a really windy campsite, I'll set it up. But otherwise, you know, I don't necessarily need it. This is my food bag. It is just a Sea to Summit Ultra-Sil stuff sack. Now, it's only got the cinch top closure, so no fancy roll tops or anything. This is 15 liters and very, very lightweight. You know, about 1/3 the price of a Zpacks food bag at a half the weight. The only trick is you can't really hang it from trees very easily, so you know, I'm not too worried about animals on this hike, but that's the stuff sack I'm using for food. 15 liters is more than enough. Now the next item, this is something I'm super excited to use. This is an Enlightened Equipment Visp rain jacket. It's quite cold here, so I feel like I should be wearing it probably. But the first time I saw it was at PCT Days in 2019, I think, and the material just looks space age. So instantly, I was interested. You know, I wanted to try one for myself. So this year is my first year that I'm really getting to try it, and you know, I'm excited to see how it handles the desert. I'm not really bringing it for the rain, other than maybe an emergency. I'm more so using it and bringing it for warmth, you know, to trap heat in and an emergency situation. So I've also got my little food jar here, my food container. This is just a peanut butter jar. It is not ever gonna leak, which is important when it comes to cold soaking meals. So I'm not cooking at all. I just put my food in here, add some water, check back in on it in a half an hour as I hike another couple miles, and food's ready to go. So I've also got a little plastic spoon. This one I also cut in half to, you know, just the perfect size for me. This is a ground sheet for my tarp. It is just a polycryo ground sheet, which, you know, is essentially just keeping me clean and safe off the ground floor. It kind of acts just as like a tent floor. So, you know, I put this underneath me and I sleep on top and I keep my things on top of it. Now next up we have, ooh, it's really coming. This snow's really coming. So next up we have wind pants. These are something I've brought on, I think, every hike I've ever done, every through hike I've ever done. These are Montbell wind pants. I think they only weigh 1.9 ounces, and it almost feels silly not to bring them on a hike, just because they are so lightweight. They do add a little bit of warmth, and you know, they protect me more from the wind. They dry very fast if they get wet, and I really, really like having wind pants instead of tights. Lighter weight, and I feel more versatile. They're not going to be as warm though. So on this hike, I'm using some Injinji Toe Socks. I feel like over the years of my hiking, the toe socks from Injinji have been the ones that most consistently my feet like. The ones that I get the least amount of blisters, if any at all. And I really like how it has the fabric in between each toe. I really feel like it helps prevent blisters, and you know, these aren't the most durable things in the world, but I really like them. So Injinji Toe Socks. Now I've also got an Enlightened Equipment quilt. This is the Enigma from Enlightened Equipment. And I brought this on the Florida Trail in 2019 or 2020. And it's rated down to 30 degrees, and we experienced temperatures into the upper 20s on that hike, and I felt like this kept me warm. So I really like having the totally sewn foot box, you know, so no extra air gets in. I feel like these quilts are very true to their temperature rating, and I'm excited to use it on the AZT this year. Very comfortable. So the only other things I got in here is this pack liner. I've kind of cut it down a little bit smaller, and kind of how that works is it just goes in my pack first, and I put anything that I want to keep dry in there, like my quilt or my nice jacket. And if in the case it does rain, I can roll it up really tight, have all that stuff in there, and it's protected from the rain or the snow, you know. So kind of just a little emergency thing. I don't really expect to be dealing with much rain on this trail, but it almost feels silly to me not to have it because, you know, it can be so catastrophic to get wet and be out in the backcountry. So the last thing in my pack here is my sleeping pad. Now this is just a 1/8 inch closed cell foam sleeping pad, which I've cut to torso length. So it only runs from my shoulders to my butt. And I've been using these for years. They've always been enough for me. But I do have to be extremely careful with where I set up camp, because obviously this isn't providing much cushion and it's not going to provide much insulation. So I have to look for areas that are very well naturally insulated and protected from wind and, you know, away from cold areas and has plush ground. So I feel like campsite selection is really the key to going lighter, and I think it really shows when it comes to these closed cell foam pads. So a 1/8 inch closed cell foam pad, which I think I got from Gossamer Gear, but many companies sell them these days. So that's everything. That's everything that I'm carrying on the Arizona Trail. 7.7 pounds total, but only 6 pounds are going to be in my backpack, and then another 1.5 are going to be inside my fanny pack. I am really excited for this trail, to try out some new gear, to get through hiking again, and you know, I just can't wait to be back out there. So, you know, again, if you're interested in seeing more about any of this gear, I will leave links down below so you can check it out. You know, if you like this video or want to follow along with my Arizona trail hike or any other through hikes I do in the future, please subscribe to this channel. You know, and if you feel it, please share this video. I feel like sharing videos is really the best way to help out someone who is creating them. You know, because it's a lot harder to find them on your own when you're just randomly searching backpacking things. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm getting kind of cold out here, you know, just because the snow is really pounding on me. But I'm going to head back home after I pack up all my stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.